Now, is there anything from your 3 years of tennis that you've been able to take into the realm of comedy?
No.
Yeah, rightfully so.
No.
That was a terrible question.
Just like
I was just trying to draw congruities, man.
you're like, oh yeah, you can volley. Like, no.
Yeah, yes. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is Where Is This Going? A podcast about local artists you may not know right now, but you hopefully will soon grow to appreciate at the very least. Quickly, I will plug our social medias. If you aren't following us, please do follow us. You can follow our... Which one's first? You can follow... those are switched around. The Twitter and Instagram. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at Where Is This GoPo, and you can follow the Instagram at Where Is This Going Pod. We upload clips to those and let you know when an episode's coming, let you know when an episode's uploaded so you can watch it and all that good stuff. And you can follow myself, hello, on Instagram and Twitter at @the_Hunter Miles. And you can follow our next guest, our current guest, the one joining us here today, the very funny stand-up comedian in Grand Rapids by way of rural Detroit. I don't know. Suburban Detroit.
I didn't grow up in the sticks, man.
Yeah, okay. Well, but the outskirts. Anyways, please put your hands together for Mr. Alex Plotkowski, everybody.
Hi, it's me. I'm back, and
Yes.
by I'm back, I mean this has never happened before. This is the first time we're ever doing this.
Yes, Alex on Twitter at ProbsMcGobs and on Instagram at Alex the Rock Plotkowski. But also, if you're on Modern Warfare, you can add him at also ProbsMcGobs. But
if you get bored and you're like, I want to play Warzone for an hour and a half, hit me up.
After the hours of 8 p.m.
Yeah, pretty much.
But Alex was in the studio before, and unfortunately his episode got lost. It was one of the first banked episodes that we were trying to do to, pre-record in an event that I, wasn't able to come into the studio because of like COVID stuff, which happened. And then we were like, all right, let's put that episode out there.
It was a perfect episode to have banked.
Exactly.
And then, especially since what happened, and then it was gone. And this is not some like Chappelle Show lost episodes where we're going to find it. Like, no, it's gone.
Yeah, no, it's gone. And I don't think the quality would be something comparable to a Chappelle lost episode.
Oh, no, not at all. But if it was, then, Comedy Central, give me a call, I guess.
Yes,
but
I
no,
guess.
not in a million years.
So
Good time, though.
yeah, but thank you. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for making the trek out here again. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always good to be in the stew,
The stooge, as we call it, as it is. I think that's an LLC. I'm not sure, but thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
So okay, suburban Detroit. Okay, Farmington or
Sterling Heights.
Sterling. I always forget.
So Sterling Heights is just south of M59, and 59 will get you to 75, and 75 will get you pretty much anywhere.
Right.
Actually, in like the United States too.
Oh wow. I don't know much about
75 goes from
highways,
all the way the tip of Michigan all the way down to the tip of Florida, man. So,
that's interesting knowledge to have.
Just
I
saying.
wish I could be more interested about highway and
Hey, I'm just saying, if you ever need to make a
otherwise
clean
travel.
break,
a clean getaway, just know
75 all the way south, get to Florida,
perfect.
and yeah, you're home free.
Beautiful.
Everything goes there.
Not everything. What about on the other side? How do things go in Sterling Heights?
White. Is that the like? I mean, it's a suburb, so
Right.
you know anybody knows that the suburbs were basically formed by, you know, in the 40s and 50s after the war. The boomers were like, all right, we don't want to live in the cities anymore. There's all
Right.
these new houses they're building.
Yeah.
So you know, my parents are boomers, so it makes sense that they grew up there and they're like, okay, let's make our life here. But over time, it's definitely diversified more. Like every time I go back, it's different, which is kind of cool. It's also weird though, you know, all of a sudden you'll see like a Burger King somewhere that wasn't. They're like, that was, that was a forest. Now it's a BK drive-through. Cool. All right.
Just empty lots popping up.
Yeah,
into
out of
buildings.
nowhere. You're like, all right.
Dollar General.
Oh, Dollar General's
Every
man.
family video is now a Dollar General.
That's Family Video is a tragedy. That is that is the great tragedy.
Sad. I mean, they even tried to stay alive with CBD, but CBD could not.
It worked for a
revive.
while. I think
Yeah.
if they could sell actual legalized marijuana, I think that would have kept them alive.
And it makes sense too. Weed and movies.
You just have it in the same section. You have the porn. You have to be 21 or up to go back there. It makes perfect sense.
You don't even get rid of the porn. You just also
Well, it's
put
like
weed with
to
it.
each their own. You know, if you want to spark
This is
one
just
and
the
spank one, go for it.
This is just the overall adult section.
It's the adult section. You have to be 21. You know, I'm not saying you have to start selling beer and wine too, but
It would be a good
diversify
look.
your bonds.
Right. Diversify your portfolio, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me, but you know, pour one out for family
Pour one
video.
out for family video.
F in the chat.
Not on this carpet.
Not in the carpet. Yeah.
Please.
No, in your own carpet if you're watching this at home or listening to this at home.
Or, if you're outside.
Yeah, there
I
you
don't
go.
know why spelunking came to mind. But if you're
Spelunking?
spelunking and listening to this podcast.
Yeah, if you're cave diving and listening to this podcast, first of all, who the hell are you? Who
But also,
are you?
Yeah. Send an email to, we don't have this one on the screen, but send an email to where is this going pod at gmail.com.
Like anything, just if
We want to hear from you.
yeah, I'm sure like those stories would be amazing. But yeah, so
Nice. Sterling Heights, white, but
it was
more diversifying.
It eventually turned that way because for the longest time it was Sterling Whites.
Right.
For the longest time, like
And usually Heights has the connotation, like when a city has the name Heights in it, the word Heights in it, it has a negative connotation to the neighborhood.
generally, yeah, it's not the most, but Sterling Heights was fine, and it was Sterling Whites for a long time, and it's different now though.
Yeah. So your parents were boomers. How old are you?
I am 28.
You're 28.
Believe it or not.
Just turned 28? Or?
I turned 28 in August.
Okay,
so
never mind.
I'm
Completely
almost
scrap
28
that.
and a half now.
Yeah.
But since I was about 22, you could guess any age from like 25 to about 35,
Yeah.
and you weren't wrong.
Yeah. It's like age ambiguity.
Yeah, like it's one of those. He's an adult.
Ambiguity.
That's all you like. He's like, oh, he's a young adult
Right.
man. Like okay, he could have 4 kids. He could be, he could not be. He could just be a child.
And
himself.
you wear the hat all the time, so it could be. That's a tosser too. Like he could have hair.
And that's the thing. That's why I still do it. I mean, it's pretty much gone
The hair's
right now,
not
but
theirs.
I can grow it on my face. So
There you go. That's all that matters.
and the rest of my body, unfortunately. But
Well, what do the people see?
well, nowadays it's
Just that. Not even.
It's actually just this. Like
Yeah.
it's just this all the time.
So all they see is the beard.
They see parts of the beard sticking out.
Not enough of it.
No.
So, were your parents kind of old? Because you're not that much older than me, but
My parents are. My father is 63. My mother is 61. But mom, if you ever find yourself watching this, listening to this, anything like that, you are 48 years old and you look phenomenal. I love you so much.
beautiful. Beautiful. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting your mother, but I hope to in the future.
She's an amazing woman.
Beautiful.
But yeah, they're 63 and 61. So I wouldn't say they're old, but like it makes sense for my age, I guess.
But I mean, having you, it's late 30s, right?
Yeah, they had all
30s.
me and both my brothers all in their late 30s, mid to late 30s. So
Okay.
which, I mean, to me, that always
Are you
made
the
sense.
oldest?
I am the middle child.
You're the middle child, of course. That's why you're a comedian.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes
We were
sense.
forgotten, so it's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'd say usually comedians, in my opinion, would either be middle children or the baby. Just because the baby is also
Or for what I've seen,
trying to get attention.
a lot of only children.
Well, you know what? So yeah, there's really no pattern.
There's,
What
I mean,
said.
the pattern is you were a child once.
Yeah,
So I guess everybody's a comedian. That's what they say.
The way I see it, all comedians were once children.
Yeah.
Which is
It's true.
I think a phenomenal realization to have. Profound, if you will.
Yeah, it's almost like an epiphany.
Right. So you came from Sterling Heights to Grand Rapids by way of college? Or for the reason of
the original reason was college, indeed. Like after I graduated high school, I went to Grand Valley. I had a lot of fun. I joined a frat. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. You don't mark me as a frat guy.
Oh, we did. No, it's.
I mean, now actually that you're wearing like the baseball.
Now that
tee,
I'm wearing a baseball tee, you're like, yeah, I could see
arms
it.
crossed. With
If I had a dip in right now, you'd be like, yeah, I could see.
yeah,
it.
you're like, oh yeah, frat guy for sure.
Yeah. No, because the frat I joined, we were initially not like your typical group of frat guys.
Not
we
your
were
typical bros.
like we were really nerdy and dorky. Like
Right.
it was almost like Revenge of the Nerds, but not that sad.
What year were you going to college?
This was in 2010.
2010. That was like the rise, or that was like the beginning of like
Frat
I think, like
culture.
Jimmy Tatro.
Jimmy
like,
Tatro, like
frat
the
bro stuff.
Even the way people dressed in like 2010 to like 2012.
Right.
It was, the
Yeah.
polos with like the popped collar and the Madras shorts and the boat shoes. Yeah, I wore boat shoes and polos all the
Yeah,
time.
that was actually the birth of frat culture.
Yeah. And it was around for a bit.
Man,
And
you were alive for it, huh?
yeah, and well, that was the thing. I because I was way too involved in frat culture. That's why I ended up dropping out of school. Is because like I was drinking probably 4 nights a week,
Right.
probably 5 if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean that's just right. You don't think you have a problem because that's college culture.
It's college, and it's like, well, I'm still getting stuff done. It's like,
Yeah.
no, you're not, because you're not really going to class because you're too hungover, or you're just like, well, you still might be drunk,
Right.
Or you could start drinking rather than going to your 6 o'clock class.
Yeah. All justifiable reasons to not go to class.
Which, I wish I could have been like, yeah, I still passed. And, my parents were like, no, your grades are shit. You're done, man.
It happens.
You're done. They're like, if you want to, like my parents helped me out with college, and they're like, if you want to pay your own way all by yourself,
Right.
go for it. But no, I was like, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
That's a smart move. Pull out when the funding's gone.
Exactly. And so I moved back home, lived at home for a couple more years, and then moved back, and then got re-involved with the frat, which was great. And
Yeah,
the
as
worst
an
thing,
alum?
yeah, as an alum, and not just an alum, an advisor. I was their alumni advisor to the school, to the national organization.
So you started going back to school?
No.
Oh.
No,
You can be a part of a fraternity without actually being enrolled anywhere.
Correct. Well, I never actually left the fraternity because I never turned in the paperwork that said I was done.
Right.
So
you also never graduated
exactly.
college.
So we wrote something into our Constitution that allows people that have left to come back.
We just amended that. That's why constitutions have amendments, folks.
Exactly. We wrote something specifically for me, and then I never took advantage of it, but got to be the advisor. And they named an award after me.
No one should actually. Wow. No one should leak this information to Donald Trump. I feel like
I don't think he
maybe-
would get it.
Yeah.
I don't think he would. And by the time this drops, when is this dropping?
Usually tonight or tomorrow.
If it drops tomorrow, we got 2 days left. If he finds this, he's like, "Oh my god, we can do
Oh my
this."
gosh!
By that point, they've already started moving out of the White
Donald
House.
Trump comes running out of his office. With
I get a phone call from a restricted number
with a dictionary, just going, "Oh my God! I finally figured out the definition of amendment.
We can change this.
We can add to and/or change."
Oh man.
Where do I find one of those big pens? Those big fuzzy pens.
Oh, like the quills? The set of Harry Potter, because for some reason wizards also feel like they have to live in the 1800s.
Do you think Donald Trump and J.K. Rowling are tightly knit?
I mean, they've got probably the same stance on trans people, so
Yep, I was gonna say
fuck them both.
I do see similar views. And how sad we all loved J.K. Rowling not 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's
Ish. I don't know.
I mean, after that second Fantastic Beasts movie, I was kind of done with their shit anyway.
Oh yeah, fair
because that was not very good. Even the first one, I was like,
I haven't seen either of them.
yeah, they're not worth your time.
I read the last book, which was I don't.
The Deathly
remember.
Hallows?
No, after that.
That was the last book.
No,
Deathly Hallows Part 2.
no, it was like the Sacred Child.
Oh, the Cursed Child?
Yeah, Cursed Child.
So that wasn't even written by her?
Okay,
It was not.
good. I think that makes it.
Written like a play.
But doesn't that
yeah.
make it better
I mean,
for me? Isn't that better for me?
I think
if I liked that.
I suppose. I don't know.
I mean, I'm on the right side of history, in my opinion.
But it wasn't very good.
But socially speaking,
Yeah, fair enough.
so far better.
You think you're better than me?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, fair enough.
How do you like the first Harry Potters?
Hey, you know what?
How do you like Harry Potter?
Shitty people do great things, and great people do shitty things.
That's very true.
But the thing is, I think she's a shitty person that did a great thing.
Yeah, same. I love Harry Potter. Fuck J.K. Rowling.
Exactly.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
I need you. So you started going to college in 2010. You came back and got this advisory position
In like 2013.
in like 2013. An award named after you. What is this award for?
So, you know, as a fraternity goes, you do have a decent number of alumni, you
Right.
know, and the first year at our formal at the end of the year, they gave me an award because it was the first time they'd ever given out this award.
Okay.
It is the Alex M. Plotkowski Alumni of the Year Award.
M standing for Matthew.
Matthew, my middle name. And then, yeah, it was given to me as the alumni advisor after the first year. So now there's an award named after me. They've only been one other recipient because after that we got shut down. But
Oh wait, why'd you get shut down? We can't we cannot just step over the fact that a fraternity at GVSU, correct?
yeah, so
got shut down.
I can't go into all the specifics. But you know, it was typical.
Just because court cases are still open.
No, there's no open court cases, thank God. But there was, you know, it was typical frat shit. They were like,
Yeah.
like you guys have underage people drinking.
Oh, okay.
You know, there are drugs in the house, and it's like,
Okay.
you know, and was it true?
Okay.
Absolutely. But I felt like an OJ lawyer whenever I had to sit in like those meetings with people,
Right.
because it's like, all right, I'm defending the guiltiest party possible.
Did you live in the house?
No, God, no.
Okay.
No way. No.
So I mean that kind of like leaves some like disconnect for you to feel like, oh, okay, no, but I'm not lumped in with them.
No, exactly.
But
But
I'm
it
forced
was
to defend.
exactly. It was one of those like, look, I like these kids. A lot of them are good people. I'm still friends with a good number of them. But you know what happens is, you know, when they find misdoing, you gotta pretty much defend them.
Right.
And you know, you don't want to.
And you're doing this at 21, 22?
I was 23, I think. This would have been about 2016.
Yeah.
2016, 23, maybe 24.
24 acting as an advocate for 21-year-olds.
Yeah, for kids that were, you know, anywhere from 18 to 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was the big brother, like I was the father figure for someone, which was weird.
Yeah.
But like I was a big brother figure for a lot of them.
Think of how odd that would be biologically if we could have babies by the time we were 3 years old. Would you be able to father a child?
I'm 28 years old. I don't think I could father a child.
But I mean, we probably wouldn't have the sexual desires.
I don't want to think about
Anyways.
a 3-year-old sexual desires.
Yeah. I don't know
You
why.
sick fuck.
I don't. You brought it to fatherhood, and I don't know, man.
It's okay.
Where were we going?
Where is this going?
Got him.
That's why I'm here.
Okay, so 2016, you're leaving your legal battles with the fraternity that got shut down, and forced into stand-up comedy somehow.
No, believe it or not, there was like a good year or 2 years there where I didn't, like, in between that, I just kind of hung out and, you know, because I started doing stand-up in 2017, 2018. It's been 3 years, 3 years.
So yeah, okay, 2018.
Yeah. But yeah, it was mostly just, you know, because I first did stand-up when I was like 16. The first time I ever did it, I was 16.
How?
So there was an open mic, and it was at a coffee shop. It was at a Big B coffee shop.
Oh yeah.
And so that was like, I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this. I always thought I was funny. I knew I could write decently well, little bits of jokes here and there.
And stand up at a coffee shop is almost inviting.
Yeah, and it's also like, I'm like, at max, there's gonna be 10 people there.
Exactly. 10, 15 people, the most.
At the absolute, I'm like, chances are there will be 5 people there.
Even paying
and
attention.
4 of them will have acoustic guitars because they're going to be on before me or after me. Because it was like a mixed bag,
Right.
Open mic. So, yeah, it was supposed to be there. Day of, they changed the venue.
Oof.
And they changed it to a church.
Much different than a coffee shop.
And not just a church, the church I attended growing up.
Nice. Was it a build event? Like, was there a church announcement that went out that day?
I mean, no, because it was like a Friday.
Okay.
But I mean, this would have been like, 2008, roughly. So like, there was still, texting people and Facebook even at the time.
Right.
So like, you could put the word out. And so there was probably 25, 30 people there. And, when you go from a coffee shop to a church, the rules of what you can and cannot say change just a smidge. And so it went from like a hard PG-13 show at the coffee shop where you get 2 shits and a fuck to a church show where it's a light PG show where you get 1 crap and 1 shoot.
But if it gets to damn, you're out.
Yeah, like you can't even, like, if you say hell, you better referencing Satan himself, and that if I say anything bad, that's where I'm going. Like, that's the only reason you can say hell at this show.
Right.
And like, I'm 16, so my favorite words are mostly curse words. Most of my favorite words now are still curse words, but that's because I still think I'm 16.
Exactly. Your body has matured. Your mind has not.
Exactly. Shit and fuck are still hilarious.
Because I think you're a very smart man, and I think a fan of media.
Yes.
And I think you filled your brain too much with that.
Oh, absolutely.
To progress in maturity.
Yeah, I was watching movies I shouldn't have been watching at young ages. Like,
right. And imagine what you watch now.
Yeah, no, I was watching a movie with a friend a couple weeks back, and it's a fairly violent movie. It's a movie called The Raid, and it's awesome. That movie's badass. So if you get a chance to see it, do it.
Where can you find it?
I think it might be on Amazon Prime. I don't know. I own the Blu-ray. That's how much I like it. But it's super violent. I mean, like, within the first, 5 minutes of the movie, you're like, holy shit, buckle up. But because I'm so used to watching movies like that, I didn't think anything of it. I looked at my buddy 5-7 minutes in the movie. She's like, what is going on? I'm like, holy shit, I am so sorry. He's like, no, this is cool, but this is really violent. I'm like, yeah, shit.
I just get sucked into it.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I've kind of stopped giving a lot of people movie recommendations unless I can be like, all right, let's not go too deep in here, because what you think is violent, what I think is violent. Jesus, bless you.
Thank you. I gotta know what you're looking for before I give you a
Exactly. You gotta give me a path.
Right. So you were with this person in person, because I know you watch movies with another person.
Yes.
Online. Or?
Yeah. My best friend Will is in China right now. Him and his girlfriend are in China.
Is he Chinese?
No.
Okay.
He's over there teaching English. So, but probably the worst time ever to be like caught in China.
Yeah.
Is
I mean, he's stuck.
Yeah.
At this point.
Well, because he was supposed to come back last year.
Yeah. Bullshit.
And
Not
like
possible.
It was back in like early January. It was looking like it.
Well, when was he supposed to come back?
Back in April. Huh. And then
we all know how that went.
So exactly. So it went from April to June to possibly end of July to it's like I'll be back next June, and we're like, okay, sounds good.
So this summer.
So
coming to America this summer.
Yeah, it's
his friend Will.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've got a Discord open. We'll just have chat, and then we'll just start the movie at the same time. Okay. Or if somebody streams it, we can just watch it all on the stream.
Right.
So
that's nice.
Yeah, it's because it's
way of connecting.
What's nice is it's like a 12-hour time difference. Mm-hmm. So it's like if we do it in the morning here, it's like I can watch a movie, start my day, and then whatever. And if it's
it's the evening there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna watch a movie, go to bed.
Right.
And if we do it ever the opposite, it's the same thing.
Right.
So
yeah, you got a sweet spot of anywhere from basically, depending on when you wake up, from 7 to 10.
When it's a 12-hour difference, it's perfect.
11. Yeah.
If he was like a 6-hour difference or even like a 3-hour difference, like lived on the West Coast, I'd be like
5 and 8's not too bad.
5 and 8's not too bad, but when it gets to be like, hey, you want to start this at 11 o'clock at night? It's like, it's 2 a.m. I wouldn't be going to bed till 5. No, thanks.
But also, 11 and 8 is not too bad either.
That's,
You just got to pick your times.
Exactly.
Having friends on different time zones isn't terrible. It can be bad, but I don't think it's a terrible hurdle. I say that having no friends in other time zones.
I have a friend in Chicago, so it is a 1-hour difference.
Yeah, no, I don't. I got a friend in St. Louis, and I talk to him a little.
Fair enough, man.
I mean, COVID's given a lot of people, time to reach out and stuff.
Yeah,
and time to not.
It is interesting talking to people in different areas and finding out what their like lockdown or quarantine experience.
Through this, yeah. Which, you know what? I should definitely... Hey, Tristan, my bad. I should reach out and ask, what's it like in...
We're having breakthroughs. This is like therapy. This is beautiful.
I mean, podcasts are therapy.
Yeah, they really are.
Podcasts are confessionals.
They really are.
You have anything you'd like to confess?
Not right now. Nothing I'm legally allowed to speak about.
Thank you. I plead the fifth. I was trying to get you on that frat shit again.
Oh, no. Like I said, with that...
Just typical frat stuff. You know that usually includes rape, right? Typical frat stuff.
Never had anything with that. Thank God. Because...
Thank him. Praise him.
God. No, I warned all those kids. I'm like, if any of you find out...
Hey, don't rape. I warned them all. Don't do it.
It's sad that he's like, you kind of have to say it to 18, 19-year-old boys.
Those are almost my exact words.
Yeah.
No, it is sad that for some reason this is necessary. But hey, if for some reason this is necessary for you, can you push it on my face at all?
Yeah.
Don't rape. Don't.
Do not rape. There we go. That's...
If you needed that, I'm glad I could give that to you, but I'm sad that you needed it. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, you get into stand-up comedy 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
We'll say 2018.
Yeah.
For no reason, to be specific. But what, besides needing to be funny because of your looks, what got you...
Appreciate that. You son of a bitch.
What inspired you, or who inspired you to do stand-up comedy?
So because I had done it when I was like 16,
right.
There were a lot of guys I really looked up to, like, Chappelle's the best of all time, George Carlin, but I also I wrote the humor section in my school newspaper my senior year of high school.
Right.
Like, I was the humor editor. I had my own page. It was great.
Which you have to be a specific kind of nerd to get into. To
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it was a long running segment, but you know, fine. But so I loved writing jokes. I loved that whole idea. So I was like, I always thought after what happened when I was 16, I'm like, is it a stage fright thing? Is that why I sucked so bad when I was 16?
Right.
It was like, no, it was the atmosphere, and you had, like, you wouldn't have been good, but you could have been better.
Yeah.
And maybe you wouldn't have been, if you would have done it better, you wouldn't have been so discouraged to not do it again.
Right.
For like 10 years.
Jeez.
So, but I had always kept writing, like, I'd been writing little short stories here and there, just things I thought were funny. And I was like, you know what, let's just do this. Because, like, the whole, like, 6 months to a year before I started doing it, I would go to the bar, I'd get probably a little drunk and go sing karaoke. It was like, because if you can sing in front of people, I think you can do anything in front of people.
Easily.
So, and then I was like, all right, let's do karaoke sober. And I was doing that. I was like, all right, cool. This is fine.
That's a weird kind of like training camp to do.
It was, but it worked. But then I realized, it wasn't like none of it for me was the stage fright. I just thought I was shit.
Right.
And then after
self-confidence.
Yeah, I was just like, and I was like, oh yeah, because you're still referencing when you were 16.
Right.
So you know,
had no sense of self.
Exactly. I was just like, and you know, when you're 16, your sense of humor is often pretty shit.
Yeah.
You know, you might find a lot of
things. Which is almost literal. Like, you find very much shit jokes and things like that.
Yeah, they're creme de la crap, you know?
That was a kiss of a butthole.
Exactly. Yes. You know, a Hershey's kiss, if you will. Ew.
Hershey's square.
But yeah, so I started doing it, and, you know, I was like, man, this is great. Especially when you can see what jokes work.
Right.
And what, you know, sure, I wasn't like doing huge rooms. I was doing Fulton Street Pub in Tip Top. There were open mics. But even just seeing when people would be there, like, all right, this joke works. This one connects. Right. I can build on this. And learning what doesn't work, too, was awesome.
Yeah. Where do you think you got, maybe you can compare from then to now, but, or just overall your time in Grand Rapids and the open mics and stuff like that, where do you think you get the best gauge of where your jokes are?
It's funny because there's two real schools of thought with that. I feel like Make It Spicy in the back room at Mulligan's.
Right.
Hopefully this shit ends soon. Hopefully coming back. But that was always a good mix of a crowd. Like, you never knew how many people were going to be there, and you would usually pack up pretty full.
Yeah.
But you'd also have a good mix of people, so you'd have good different reactions.
Right.
You know, I love doing like just the open mic at Grins, even though it was 3 minutes. 3 minutes is that's the crowd that, like, they're paying to see somebody else. So like,
exactly. So not to cut you off, but there's two ways to take that as well. Like, they're paying for someone else, which means they paid to see comedy.
Yeah. But they didn't pay to see you.
Exactly. You might just be standing in the way of that.
So it's one of those, if you don't hook them early, they don't give a fuck.
And you got 3 minutes, so you're only, like, you have to... It's an open mic spot, but you're taking that to a club where we're not in a club very often. So you're taking that to a club where it's not your regular open mic set.
Yeah.
You're showcasing your best 3 minutes, basically.
Yeah.
Because it's also a paid show.
Exactly. So you're just like, I don't know who's seeing this, but, you know, they came for comedy. I'm going to give my best.
Right.
So that, you know, it continues the show on. So then, you know, the feature and the headliner, you know, they're not going up with like the coldest crowd possible.
Right. Like, the whole show will benefit from a good performance.
Exactly. Everybody wins.
Right. And I don't know. I like the way you think. I like the way you set that up, because you don't know if that's the best. For me, I wouldn't know if that's the best barometer for, like, how good my set is. Almost because in that club setting, anything feels great.
Yeah. And
that's why at this level, like, everything, every laugh in that room, like, in that close and like that close tight space, like, the acoustics are perfect, that every laugh you hear And at this level for me, I need it all, and it all feels
absolutely.
great.
Yeah, but it's also like if those 3 minutes crush,
Right.
that's 3 minutes you never have to worry about again.
Yeah.
Which is
Like, I don't have to perfect those at all. Like, I don't have to work on that.
Yeah.
Let me set it aside and let at least the memory of it.
yeah, let that be your, keep that in your back pocket forever.
I'm tight with that.
It doesn't need to be like just like riding a bike thing where you have to get back into it. It's like, no, it's literally just always in your back pocket.
Right.
It's there.
Which actually makes me really want to go back to my Grin's 3-minute set. I know my 8-minute set was decent, but I've watched that over and over again for like funniest person.
Yeah.
I've watched that over and over again and been like, okay, yeah, no, there's still a ton to work on there. I
think we got very lucky that we were able to perform outside as much as we did this past summer into fall.
Yeah.
I know it's not the same. I know it wasn't even close to the same, but it was still. It was working with what we had,
right?
And I think it did benefit us a lot because it was more just the repetitions.
Too.
Yeah,
right.
It was like, all right, cool. Yeah, I might be working on the same 8 minutes every single week for the next month.
Yeah,
but by the end of that month, all of it just
something tighter than sitting down the whole time.
Exactly. You know,
and of course, there's dealing with the judgment of doing anything, even outdoors in a pandemic. But god damn it, we gotta do what we do.
I feel like we played everything as safe as we could.
Being safe about it as much as we can.
And that's the thing. We were going by the laws and rules put in place. We weren't breaking any laws. We weren't doing anything we weren't supposed to.
Right. And as much as I know, no one ever got COVID at any of my shows or any of the shows that I performed at or attended. I got COVID from my son. Of course, the ones closest to you will betray you.
Was he at school? Did he catch it from somebody from school?
No, he was still home from school. He got it from his mom's house.
Man.
Yep. Yeah. What can you do?
Nothing, but
yeah, I mean,
I can wait for the vaccine, baby.
Yeah. Decent. So where do you, this is a weird question, I know, because I've gotten it often, but where do you, I guess, draw your comedic inspiration from, or your comedic voice? Who were your favorite comedians growing up?
Growing up, Chappelle and Carlin were the two for me for sure. But like, I loved guys like, I love Conan O'Brien. I love Dana Gould. Guys that just, you can tell when like the writing is like, I loved watching The Simpsons when I was growing up. Like from the ages of like 9 to about 13, 14, it was always on same time every day after school.
Right.
And like that writing on The Simpsons was so clever. It was just like subtle little things that I just loved.
And then when did you learn that was Conan?
Probably when I was about 13 or 14.
I was going to say, you were not looking at the credits at 10.
No. Well, because nobody reads the credits when you're 10 years old.
I think credits don't kick in until I think 17. For me, I don't know.
For me, it was probably early to mid high school.
I pick up the voice actors more than I pick up the writers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That also makes sense. Like, yeah, especially when you're like, oh, wait, whose voice is that? I know that voice.
Exactly. Yeah. But now that I think I know more comedians and like comedic writers and stuff like that, I think I might try to look more for writers. You don't really think about those things until someone plants it in your brain.
Yeah, absolutely. But and some of it is like you'll just you'll read like a Wikipedia article or something like that because this is the internet. That's what you do. You fall down in the web of Wikipedia. Happy 20th birthday, by the way, Wikipedia. Thank you for helping me graduate high school and not college. But yeah,
you got me far enough, I'd say.
I'm doing all right.
Exactly. Successful shoe salesman.
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
You're the next Al Bundy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Minus the football stardom.
Yeah,
Wait, what sports did you play in high school?
In high school, I only played tennis, and I only played 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. I didn't want to play my senior year.
Just like Cal here.
That's literally exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Tennis was awesome, though, wasn't it?
It was great.
Yeah.
High school tennis is so much fun because there are some kids that took it super, super serious.
Yes.
And then there was the rest of us that like, we like to win, we like to have fun, but at the same time,
I'd rather.
That's why I quit when I was a senior. I was just like, I don't want to deal with that anymore.
yeah, like they're like,
It's
we want senior leadership out of you. You know, I don't really just want to go to practice anymore. Like, can I just?
Plus, all right, were you on varsity at all?
No, I never got to make. Yeah, I never got to make varsity because our varsity team was actually really, really good.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so, like, by the time I was a senior, they're like, "Yeah, we'll have a spot for you on varsity." I'm like, "Okay," but
I mean, if you're a junior and you're not on varsity, you're like, yeah, I hope our varsity team is good.
yeah, and that's what it was. There was on our JV team, there was as a junior, I want to say there was 6 juniors on our JV team. Like,
Dang.
yeah. So it was because like we couldn't find
Right.
like our varsity was stacked. So
Now, is there anything from your 3 years of tennis that you've been able to take into the realm of comedy?
no,
Yeah, rightfully so.
No,
That was a terrible question.
just like
I was just trying to draw congruities, man.
you're like, oh yeah, you can volley. Like, no,
Yeah, it's a volley back and forth with the audience.
yeah.
a
I mean, that's the
real rise
only
of emotions.
connection. But no, yeah, I don't grunt on stage. Maybe I should start getting that. If a joke crushes,
Yes. Do that fist pump while I hear the claps.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that would get me booed off the stage anywhere.
So like I said, you're part of our Jokers of January. I don't know if I actually did say that.
No,
But you're
this
part
is
of
new
our-
to me.
You're part of our Jokers of January series, where all of January has been. We still don't have a graphic for that, and there's only 2 more weeks left in January. Jake, can we get working on that, please? I'm kidding, not right now. But this whole January, we've tried to start 2021 out with laughs and the funnies and the chucks. And you're a very funny stand-up comedian.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I got a burp. Nope, I'm good. Oh, look at that. That was quick.
Midday beers, man. Midday beers will give you the burps.
Right. I'd like to think of it as evening at this point. But
Yeah,
that's only because we started in the late afternoon. But
Fair enough.
Alex is part of our Jokers of January series, and part of that has inspired new questions and I think segments that we will have moving forward. But just questions for you. I have, being a comedian, what was one of the most recent comedy specials or albums that you've gotten to listen to and enjoy?
Oh boy, because nobody's really put. I mean, people have been putting stuff out. Not
Right.
but like
Sam Morril just put out Up on the Roof.
Yeah, I think my favorite one from like most of last year, believe it or not, was Hannibal Buress' special, Live
Yes.
Miami.
Yes, very good. Like multimedia.
Yeah,
wise. Like
it was something different.
definitely.
Norman's was like a joke a minute. Mark Norman's Out to Lunch was like a joke a minute. It was so good. But I went back and I watched some older stuff recently. That was probably what did I watch? I watched one of Segura's from like 2013. Back when he was still
Completely Normal.
I think so. When he was still pretty fat.
It was either Completely Normal or Mostly Stories. I want to say.
It might have been most stories.
Who knows?
Jakey, pull that up. Just kidding.
You don't have to show it on the screen, but you look it up. Anyways. So what was the most recent one you saw? And or no, fuck that. Scrap that. You gave me a good list. What is your favorite joke of yours
My favorite joke of my own.
that you have written?
Oh, that's tough. And that, not to sound like, oh, I like all my jokes. I kind of hate all my jokes. That's
Right.
part of it.
Completely Normal is 2014.
That might be it.
There we go.
That we'll call it that.
I was right with my first guess. Completely Normal.
Favorite joke of mine. You know, I do really like my Wu-Tang Kids Bop album
Yes.
joke. I love that joke because that joke came out of literally me sitting at home sober and sad listening to the Wu-Tang Clan.
Right. The life of probation.
Yeah, you know, like what else was I supposed to do? And, you know, I just wrote down a bunch of random thoughts I had that day, and I wrote down Wu-Tang Kids Bop ? And I was like, I don't know where I can go with this.
Because when you're sober, everything might as well be Kids Bop.
Pretty much. And then, you know, Shimmy by ODB came on, and then I was just like, oh my God, how have I not done anything with...
Even that voice.
You know, oh, baby, I liked it. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
It's, you know, it's just...
Oh, baby, I like it.
Oh, yeah. You know, just... Shimmy, yo. Oh, it's... ODB's voice is so great, and just that song is great. So I was like, yeah, let's write something. It's either that or my doppelgang bit I thought was like one of the first things I wrote that I was like, that just works.
That was one of my favorite jokes of yours.
It's simple and it works. And I was like, cool, I can use this anywhere I go.
I tell your joke to people.
Wow.
Just that one.
But
when I'm trying to describe you.
Yeah, and that's the best way to do it. And that's why I do like that joke, because I can say that joke in any room in America. And people will be like, yep, I totally get it.
Right. Not that you've toured a lot over
No,
these
but
United States,
the thing is, if I did, like, if I was like, all right, cool, I see that they've got clubs open in Wisconsin, and I want to take the ferry across to Wisconsin because I'm an idiot. Yeah,
because
I would do
fear
it
for my life for some reason.
Oh, they've got like
myself behind the wheel.
I don't know if no, it's more so the fact that
you want your own car in Wisconsin and want to save on gas.
I don't want to drive through Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, okay. You know what? That's actually the best reason to take the ferry.
That's
really
the only
it,
good like reason. Because it's like 4 hours across, right? Or 6 hours across, something ridiculous.
I don't know. Hey, Jakey, look that up. How long does it take to get to? Where does the Wisconsin ferry even? What's it called?
The ferry?
I think it goes to Milwaukee.
I don't know.
I don't know, but
I have no clue.
Yeah, from Muskegon to Milwaukee, I think it's like.
Oh, it leaves in Muskegon.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought you could just take it from anywhere. The Lake Express.
The Lake Express. That sounds.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
I would not have guessed that.
Where does it take you to?
I'm pretty sure Milwaukee. Yeah.
Not too bad.
I would do that.
I went. I don't mean to hijack the podcast.
No, go ahead.
No, go for it.
I went on that the day I was like 7. It was the day after I watched Titanic.
And
it felt way fucking longer than 2.5 hours.
It felt at least 3 times as long as the movie.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that movie takes forever. So
it felt a lot longer than 2. I could have swore it was longer than that for some reason, but
I think I've always just equated in the drive to Muskegon, which for me is like 45 minutes anyway.
And for us, it's still 40.
Still like an hour.
Yeah.
But
it's an hour drive.
Here.
I'm thinking it might actually be 3.5 hours, but they'll call it 2.5 because you're going into Central Time Zone.
Right.
So you're gaining that 1 hour back.
I don't care that much.
I don't either.
So wait, that was just talking about going
to Wisconsin, but
to tour.
From what I've heard, Wisconsin's like pretty much wide open right now. And like, I don't really want to go to any place
that's wide open. Right?
Yeah, with like no COVID restriction or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like at Lambeau Field yesterday for that Packers game, it looked like there was like 30,000 people there.
Right. And
I know it's outside, but Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus, yes.
Because they're cheeseheads.
They're cheeseheads.
Maskless, so you know it.
They're dumb.
Okay, so you gave me 2 of your favorite jokes of yours. Now, can you give me one favorite joke from one of your favorite comedians? Your favorite joke of a special, of an album.
Ooh. Oh man. So Dave Chappelle's Killing Me Softly. Mm-hmm. My friend and I, we can text each other any time of the day, 7 days a week, 365, just a line from that special. Mm-hmm. Whether it's something small like "Gotcha, bitch," or like, "Hey, baby," and just we'll know exactly what we're doing. But that whole special is phenomenal. It's probably the whole story about the baby on the corner selling drugs.
Of course.
That bit is probably one of my favorite just jokes of all time, because it's so smart and funny, but it's also just so fucking ridiculous
In the premise alone.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how do you get a premise of, a baby selling drugs in the ghetto? And you're like, yeah, well, okay.
You start from something maybe you might have actually seen.
Yeah, exactly. This could have happened. So,
well, if you want to catch what Alex is talking about, check out our Patreon. No, I'm kidding.
go to YouTube and just look up "Killing Me Softly." You'll find the whole special.
Exactly. I was gonna say find "Killing Me Softly" Dave Chappelle special wherever you can. Why is that red? Anyways, I'm getting distracted. This has been Where's This Going? Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you for having me, Hunter. Well, hopefully this one doesn't get lost and I don't have to do it again in the next 3 to 6 months.
Those words are targeted at our producer, and I hope he doesn't take that as a threat.
I don't.
No, I don't blame Jake. I blame Hunter. He's the man in charge. He's the man. You gotta, you can't put it on the help, man.
And that sounds racially charged. All right.
If you had asked me to upload it the day that we did it.
Yeah, you know what? If we weren't trying to
banking it. Oh, yeah. See, that's why you don't trust the banks, everybody. Cash rules everything around me. Dollar bill, y'all.
Cream.
Woo out.
So you can follow Alex on Twitter at ProvsMcGobs and on Instagram at Alex the Rock Plotkowski. And you can follow the podcast on Instagram at Where Is This Going Pod and on Twitter at Where Is This Go Po. And you can follow me at _Hunter Miles. Thank you guys so much for listening, for watching. Subscribe, follow, like, email us. Tell your friends about the podcast, and hope to talk to you soon. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.